Yippee! Hello chat, welcome back to typing roguelike. I've done some work off stream. I've done some of the boring stuff. So what happens now is that the game actually runs. So that's good. So a little demonstration here. We can kill the enemies. And okay, minor bug. We can fix this. Evidently I didn't actually do that much testing when I did this. So battle 1 pop up. This typing test. Target word is continue, it's typable, and it's visible. And the typing test is set here to that one. Oh. You know what I think might be the case? It might just be that this is behind the button. Yeah, I think that is the case. And that might be the case for the other buttons too. Although I swear it wasn't like that before. Here, let me just go in here, do it in the prefab. That's going to be the best way to do it. What's up, Duo? How are you? Okay. Let's test again real quick. God, have it set so fast. Okay, now we can see continue. And it takes us back to the map, but the map no longer works, so this is the first thing we need to fix. So let's break this down a little bit. What happens is, in our map here, when the game runs, in Don't Destroy All Node, we have our run info. And this stores all of our keycaps. It also stores all the things that happen with all of the keycaps. And this is like a... this is kind of just the utility for me, because when these events happen, I can say I want to call this function that I've written in the add damage script, but the add damage script isn't in the scene unless I attach it to this game object. So this is how the keycaps work right now, and I can go here and I can add any script on any of these events, and only on letter typed, on attack start, and on attack end currently work. But hey, pretty good. I still don't really like the way that it works. Like, it feels like there is probably a better way to do it that I just don't know about, but I've already changed the way it works a couple times, so I think I'm just gonna settle for this for the foreseeable future. Because you can just go here and like add a new keycap. Each one of these is a different keycap, and then you can, there's events for each thing. But anyway, regardless, the question is, I think what's happening here is that on the run info game object, we are storing the map tile that the player is currently on, and we're just storing that in this. And I think what happens is when we change scenes, the map tile gets deleted. Yes, as we can see, it says missing. So my guess is that when we change scenes again, it does not automatically come back. And yes, as we can see, it went from missing to none. So, start tile also changed, which is kind of interesting. But, yeah. So let's open up our map. Actually, no, let's open up our run info. So this is... I think instead of like... We could have each map tile get like a different ID, and then it like uses that. We could also make it so the map never unloads at all, and it's just always there behind the scenes. I think I want to see if there's any way to get like an ID for each tile that's like properly unique, and I don't have to set them manually. Because like, that would be nice. Need some lo-fi study beats? I have music playing. It's just quiet potential? Can you hear it at all? Because I don't know how loud to make it before. At this point, I have to start applying gain. Hold on. You hear it a little now? Yeah. I have a weird setup because when I record, I have it set to do different tracks, but the Windows Media Player by default only plays like the top track for some reason, which is my mic. So like, it doesn't play the music when I record unless I like go through the effort to put it in an editing program, which is too much work. But hopefully that's better now. Perhaps. We're gonna see like... Yup. You know. What if I do this? Oh, I could just set an ID with code. That's kind of a smart idea. So, like... Wait. Is it a smart idea? I don't get it, actually. This looks complicated. No idea. Let's create a script. Persist math tiles. I need to wait for it to compile. This is so sad. Okay. Programming time. So first thing, void. Basically, I've already done this logic, but we need to copy it. So I'm just gonna straight up. You know what? Maybe I should make a class for this. Its own class. That seems like a good idea. Persistify. Save between scenes. Maybe that's a better name. And then I can just attach this to both of them and anything else that I want to save between scenes in the future. Yeah, because basically what this says is that if there already is one, destroy the extras and then save it between scenes. So usually I think if you tell it to like not destroy it between scenes, it will just keep making more every time you go to the scene. So this makes sure that doesn't happen. Okay. So then I can go here. I can get rid of this. I can get rid of this. And save that. But then in our scene we need to add save between. It can't be found. Oh, I need to make things compile. That's an annoying thing about Unity. If you have one error in one file, it doesn't compile anything else. Which I guess makes sense, but you know. Still something I have to remember sometimes. And then we can give this the same thing. But I need to say how can I do this? Okay, so basically we're gonna say, can I get, oh. Let's use the scene management. I don't remember the thing. Let's say, oh, what am I doing? Private void, awake, restart. What? let's have a private map scene. Private scene? Map scene? Map scene equals, what was the thing I just googled? Scene manager dot get active scene. Okay, so this way we always have it saved. And then we can just say map position, and we'll just set this to the position it is when we call start so that it knows like where it started. And then we can just say if scene manager dot get active scene not equals map scene. AI autocomplete is telling me to do this, but I feel like I should use dot equals. Yeah, it works. C# is just cool like that. Unity is just cool like that. It's like Java but better. That's what my professor always says. Okay, so if it's not the map scene, we just say let's see, how do you want to do this? Oh, I can do this. What if I say 1000, 1000, negative 1000? Or I could say oh, you know what? I could just put it like behind the camera. That probably makes the most sense, right? I'll put it off to the side too. Can't hurt, right? This is a great way to do things, right? Okay. Ooh, I have a much better idea, actually. Okay. Private map tile array, map tiles. Do I want to? Is there like a Unity on scene change function? Oh. Okay. Alright, so we can make a private void on scene change. And then in start we can say scene manager dot active scene change. We do like plus equals on scene change. This is what you told me. Oh. It has to take in those. Yeah, okay. Current. Sure. If current not equals map scene, then no matter what, we're gonna say private, not private, map tile array tiles equals get component, wait, can I just get children? Transform dot. How do we get all children? Oh, wait. I'm realizing there's better ways to do things. Because we can do get components. Get component. Yeah, get components in children. And then we make this map tile. Don't worry, it's all gonna make sense soon. It's coming around. So we're gonna get all the tiles. But actually, we want the game objects. No, okay, we can just do it here. So then, if current is not map scene, then for each map tile in tiles, we're going to say tile.gameObject.setActive false. And then else, if it is the map scene, then we're going to do the opposite. And basically what this does is it disables everything about the map tiles whenever we're not actually in the map scene, which is good because you won't be able to do the typing tests and you also shouldn't be able to see them. It's the same as doing this in the inspector with the checkbox, so yeah. So we have that. I kind of feel like I should rename this. Hi map tiles. That seems more accurate. And then... oh, Unity's doing its thing it's doing. This thing it does. Go here, and I have to make it the same. Allegedly, you don't have to make it the same anymore. The class name used to have to always be the same as the file name, but I think I was told that that changed in Unity 6. But I'm not about to find out, so... let me check. Interesting. Yes, the map tiles are all disabled, which is good. And then in theory... game is too hard. Okay. They didn't come back. What's up with that? Oh. Probably because I left this in. Well. Oh, it's because we can't... You can't... Once you disable the game object, they can no longer be found by calling get components in children. They go away. This is a mistake I've made before. So we probably want to make this global so that it's able, it like saves them, and then we just update it. How do I want to do this? Update it every time the scene changes, but then also once on start. And we can just call on scene change manually for that, I think. I just pass null. How dare you? I'll just call pass the active scene for both of them. How about that? So it'll say if it's map scene, then set them all active. If it's not, set them all inactive. They should all be active, so it doesn't matter that it's empty. I really should run this though. If I run that, do I need to? I shouldn't actually need this. And I no longer need map position, I'm not using it anymore. Science? Thoughts? Okay. Let's try restarting. That's so real. All the audio tracks are separate. Yeah, I never found like a good way to listen to it. I just like would actually put it into like DaVinci Resolve. But that was not ideal. Okay, the map tiles are still not coming back. Does that mean the sad truth that I think it means? I think that might mean they go missing as soon as you... You could probably check by making it public and saying serialize field. I don't want it to be like this, but if it is, I think it might not be that bad. I think this might be fixable. Okay, so the map tiles are there. They get loaded in, but I'm assuming they all go missing. Yeah, it clears them out immediately. Yeah. That's so sad. Oh, VLC Studio. That makes more sense and sounds like a thing I've actually heard of. Okay. So instead, let's see if there's an easy way to like disable game object without losing variable. Okay, this is just hiding it, so. What we can instead do is say tile.typingTest.hide and disable. So we disable the typing tests, and then we say tile.typingTest.show and enable. So we enable the typing tests, and then we do tile.getComponent renderer enabled equals false. And then we do the same. This just feels less future-proof, maybe? but let's see if it actually worked. Okay. There's no renderer. What do you mean? Oh, the renderer is on the child. Hold on. Get component in children. Classic mistake. Okay, now the map tiles go bye-bye visually. But they're still in the thing. Hello? Why is the renderer still disabled? Who did this? Oh, wait. Oh, it's because on the renderer it's the same issue. It's literally the exact same problem. Alright. This is a real silly counter one moment. Maybe the clearly enabled is just like not the way to do it, and set active is not the way to do it. I think I like that idea that I saw on the interwebs, which is you just set the scale to 0. This is assuming that the map tiles are scaled to size 1 by default, which I guess isn't necessarily true, but they are. I don't want to... You know what? The map tile game object, even though it's probably not good to make the assumption that I can set it to scale 111 and have it be what it originally was, the map tile game object is literally just an empty container for its sprite and the typing test. And so its scale is irrelevant because you could just change the scale of the sprite or the typing test. And so hopefully I never actually decide to change the scale of the map tiles. Surely. Surely. Wow. VLC doesn't even do the things. This is so sad. What, huh? Okay, now I'm really confused. Now I'm really quite confuzzled. I'm really quite confuzzled about what's happening here. What am I looking at? Typing test. It has a word. It has the map tile. It's not typable. It's not visible. Setting it to typable and setting it to visible. Well, maybe it shouldn't be set to typable and visible. What's the run info say? Run info says start tile is there. It says player tile is this one, which is good. It should be saying that. Alright, so why don't any of the things show up? Is it a position thing? This text is the name tag display of the typing test. This is the name tag display of the typing test of the sprite. What is going on? That's why it's set to 2, but that is fine. That's how it should be. Why can't I see these? What? Does this have something to do with setting the scale to 0 and then setting it back to 1? Oh, wait. The scale is still 0. I just wasn't clicking the right things. If we do this, they come back to us. Also, it's interesting you can see them even when the Z scale is 0. Yeah, okay. So then... And actually... What's going on with this one? Is this the one I... Oh, this one I... Yeah, okay. So basically what needs to happen is... This didn't work, I guess? But the, when the, who the, hello? Let's make this public. Just so I can look at it. Let's do some printing, right? Hiding tiles. Showing tiles. Okay. It didn't even say hiding tiles. What's going on there? I can't type. Help. Hello? Oh, I have them turned off. Okay, it says hiding tiles both times. What's up with that? It doesn't think this scene is map scene, but if we run the code, if we run the game, then we go here. Where'd it go? I thought I made you public. Can I not serialize the field? Or do I have to serialize the field explicitly? Maybe it can't show scenes publicly. Maybe I just have to print it. What if we just get the name? What if we just get the name of the scene instead? Imagine. Seems more likely to work, to be honest. Because maybe like when you save a scene, it gets like a particular instance of the scene or something. I don't know. Okay. Now we've done it. The only problem is that it didn't save our location. But that's probably a factor of like us not doing it. Let's make a script. Position player. On scene change. And this is going to reuse a lot of the code we just wrote, but it's probably better to have it be a separate thing. Just in case we need to reuse it for something somehow. Copy everything and then just remove what we don't need. If it is the map scene, then we do find game object with tag player. I think I've been told that like using tags is bad and not ideal, but I do it anyway. Player dot transform dot position equals okay, wait, we need the run info also. No, we don't need the game object of run info, we need the actual run info itself. Run info dot player tile. Dot position. Dot transform dot position. Okay. So many dots. next thing we need to do is that we were enabling every tiles typing test, but we actually don't want to do that. Because we want to say no. We want to say run info. Map tile array tiles to enable equals run info dot player tile dot move that out. Run info dot player tile dot next tiles. Okay. And this actually has to be a list, not an array. Okay. For each map tile in tiles to enable. Yes, that is good. Ah. Yippee! Okay, this is more what we expect. We can actually go from battle to battle. I also want to check in the run info, steps completed is 2, battles 1 is 0 still for some reason. So that probably needs to be changed in the battle manager script. So let's see if we can look at that. On enemy defeated. Check battle completion. That sounds like the one. Okay, and then where do we check battle state.1? Do we check that anywhere? Doesn't look like we check that anywhere. Not gonna lie. I guess we do it here, but. And we only run this we don't run this every frame, right? We run this only when an enemy is defeated. Maybe? No, we do run this in update. Okay. Here's what we do. we only want to say if first state not equals battle state dot in progress, then we can just return. Because once we've set it to anything other than in progress, we know the battle isn't happening anymore, and so we don't need to check the completion, which means this will only run one time after determining that the battle is completed, which means right here, one time, we can say battles 1. We might have to get run info. Battles 1 plus equals 1. Yippee! Yippee! Okay. And let's check that that actually worked. Same, tell, pair, deal, site, neighbor, continue. Okay, did it update the thing? Battles 1? 1. Pretty cool. One question I do have is why doesn't the money display doesn't work anymore? This is probably just because I refactored things and I forgot to change them. But I can fix that really quick. Yo, if I get a shout out, I will subscribe. Guys, check out Slump. I mean, honestly, you know, easy money. Like, how could I not? Okay, yes, this is no longer this. This needs to be... I just need to change all of these to all of this, and everything will be great. What is the silly counter? You know when you're programming and you spend a good 10 minutes trying to figure out what the problem is, and then you realize that the problem was like you forgot to attach the script to the game object, or like you forgot to actually run the code somehow. I don't know how much development experience you have, but it's something like that. Where like, oh, I forgot to turn it on. Imagine that. That's what the silly counter is, except in this case, it was a little less silly. In this case, today's silly counter occurred because there was a bug in my code caused by a way that Unity works. And I was like, oh no, how can I get around this? Let me fix it by doing this. And what I didn't realize was that in implementing my fix, I was actually using the exact same system and ran into the exact same problem for the exact same reason. And had to do it again a different way. So that's what the silly counter is all about. I believe Norwegian? No. I just said programmering because that's how I wanted to spell it. Norway is cool though, I'd love to go there. But no, that was me doing silly English. Is that how you say it in Norwegian? What's this project? It's a typing-based roguelike. Okay, programming literally translates to programming. Interesting. That's quite funny. I wonder why. I wonder if there's like some funny etymology behind that, because I mean, yeah, programming is like a relatively modern word, so there might be a deeper story. But also, I think the origins of the word programming could go back to like way back. So I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, now that the battles work, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go on a new adventure, something completely different, to the shop, which I haven't looked at or tested in a long time. And the expected outcome, actually, let me not put the shop there. The expected outcome of going to the shop is that nothing works. Everything breaks immediately. There's like 17 errors. Everything dies. That's what I expect to happen, because I've completely rewritten like most of the elements of this game at this point. But the shop has just sat there neglected, and so the next part of the stream will probably be fixing it. But I think fixing it won't be too complex, or it won't be like, it won't require too much focus, hopefully. Okay, so yes, we got an error immediately, which is exactly what I expected to happen. I don't know why the word chord is here. I don't know why the word symbol is here. I don't know why these are all like this, but I kind of do, because, like I said, everything is expected to be broken right now. So basically, the main problem is that I completely rewrote how keycaps work, and all of these rely on that. So keycap generator. Let's see. I think where is the keycap generator these days? It might actually be on the player. Would it be on the player? That wouldn't make sense. We don't have a player right now. Let's check. Okay, keycap generator isn't anywhere. Keycap generator doesn't exist. Final boss is just a string of 10 invisible ASCII characters. I don't think that would be fun, not gonna lie. I think that might be flawed game design, potentially. Maybe. Okay. So this just doesn't exist. I don't use this anymore. Luckily, it didn't do anything except hold a list in it. Not a real program unless the working title is Refactor Second Try 3 Final for Realsies. That might not be the title, but that's very much what this is. So, we have it in spirit. It's definitely a real programming project. Why does this exist? This might require like some reading of old, poorly written code. And I do think this code was probably very poorly written. Where did my file go? Sorry, let me try to make this so y'all can see it. Okay, let's move this to the left. Okay. Keycap generator. Keyboard display. I think keyboard display is working fine, because we can see this. Oh, I see. So the keycap generator what it did was it held a list of all of the types of keycaps that could be generated in the shop, like that were currently available to the player. And what that means, basically what happened is the keycap generator used to exist as a child of run info, but I changed it so that the available keycap types is in here. So we actually need to reference run info for this. And we should get rid of run stats because run stats no longer exists. I deleted it. I nuked it, so I've currently refactored my BSc thesis program 4 times, God help me. What is BSc? That's my question. But also, that sucks. But it's good. I mean, refactoring is an important part of writing and coding. Oh, Bachelor of Science? Okay. Fair enough. What's your, like, major? Or, I don't know what you would call it in Norway. I'm assuming you live in Norway, and so your school is different, potentially. But, what are you studying? I guess is the more general way to word that. So instead of keycap generator dot buyable keycaps, we want. So right now we have keycap generator dot buyable keycaps. What we want instead is run info dot. What did I call it? Available keycap types. So let's just do a little find and replace here. Boop. Replace all. Oh god, there's errors. Help. Oh, okay. Ooh, okay. You're studying in the Netherlands. Just got back from Singapore. You're studying product development / engineering / management / comp sci that nobody's heard of. That's so real. Master's in cybersecurity. Nice. No, that's cool though that you're traveling. Because I think this is surprisingly common if you like for people in the US. But I'm in the US and I have never left the US once. And I would really love to leave the US, but it's just expensive. And then you have to, like, you know, plan a whole trip, take off work. You have to, I don't know how common knowledge this is, but someone in my French class last semester was extremely surprised. She's from Russia, and she was extremely surprised when she found out that passports in the US are not free. You have to pay like $250 to get a passport, and then it takes like months to actually get it a lot of the time. So it kind of adds a lot of friction to the idea of leaving the country. How many programming languages do you know? I mean, know is a strong word. Because I could do the basics in, like, a lot, I feel like, but I don't know. I mean, like, C, C++, C Sharp, Java, JavaScript, OCaml, what counts? Like, do you count HTML, CSS? Do either of those count? I know those. Do you count TypeScript separately from JavaScript? I don't know. Yeah, I know OCaml. I took like a... I can't remember what the class is actually... The class is called Organization of Programming Languages, and they teach us OCaml, so we have to learn it. And I love OCaml. I think it's so fun and good. You can't... There's no loops in OCaml. You have to use recursion, which is like so silly, but also makes you think about programming in a very different way, so I liked it. Oh yeah, machine code? I actually did use x86 Intel assembly in my courses too, so I kind of know some assembly, or at least I did. Yeah. So... the shop is going to be a pretty big rewrite here, because what I had in the past, I can show you, is that... Nope, that's not it. Where do I want to go here? Scripts, keycaps? Okay. So basically, what I had before is that every keycap type, because there's different keycaps and each one has its own special ability, each keycap type had a prefab with all of its information, and I would use that to create the shop keycaps as a result. But basically what I changed it to is that I use scriptable objects now because I learned that they existed, and they store all the information about the keycap, and then there's just one keycap prefab, which stores the type of keycap, the position on the keyboard of the keycap, the letter that the keycap has, and then it also stores all of the events that happen, which are added in later from the run info in the keycap events here. Is this game on Steam? I want to wish list. It's not even close to on Steam, if we're being real. I guess you could put it on Steam long before releasing it, but it's... I haven't even thought about that, really. I don't necessarily have a lot of time to work on it. It's not like... This is like kind of a side project, so it's just like not something where I want to be like, oh, it'll release at this time, and then... I'm wrong. Adding Steam page is $100? I didn't know that. That is also a factor. Because I can promise you right now, in my bank account, I do not have $100. So... awkward. Which is funny, I actually have more money that's about to be sent to me from this YouTube channel, like the payment is processing, than I do like actually in my bank account right now. Yeah. Okay, so I've kind of got sidetracked explaining how this used to work, but the problem is I need to make it work in the new way. The good news is it might be better, but I have to look at buyable keycap. You have more money hold on eBay for selling real. I do have like a certificate of deposit with some money, so that's good, but oh, I would also add that I definitely know some Python, and I have used Lua before, but it's been years. I made like a game on Roblox, like maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, and then I've used auto hotkey before, but it's been a long time. You don't remember me, but you helped me with a problem I had. Thanks. You're welcome. I don't know if you mean like on Discord, but there is a concerning amount of times where people DM me on Discord, and I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like it, and I just kind of ignore them and hope they ask someone else. But I'm glad I helped you. And you're welcome, I guess. Okay. So this just takes in a keycap. Keycap display. Okay, here's the question. Keycap display. Takes in keycap. Does it work? This seems to work. Okay, so this is now a keycap type. This is going to instantiate a keycap. What is item prefab? Is item prefab? Oh, I see. Okay. This is going to be a lot better, I think. Maybe not a lot better, but this is going to decrease the amount of code in this file, I think. Okay. So then we're just going to say we're just going to do that. You want to know how to fix fix a quantum VIT bug that somehow defies natural physics and exists in a sort of qubit state of existence, appearing and reappearing at will. Nah. Nah. You got that, though. You can figure that out. Small details. Okay, so it picks random letter. Does that. What? Oh. Why didn't I put a comment for this? I was so confused when I saw this syntax. This is a cast, so I'm saying take the integer j and cast it into this type of key. But what am I actually doing here? Where do I... Oh. Wait, what? Why do I... Why? I'm gonna go to sleep. It's like 1:40 in the morning. Yeah, that's valid. Usually I stream earlier in the day, though. But today I was invited to go climbing with my friend that I haven't seen in a while. So I was like, I'm gonna go do that. That sounds fun. I can stream later. And then, yeah. But usually I'll stream like 7 hours before right now. So that might actually work out well for like that time zone. It's probably like 6 or 7 p.m. I would imagine in the Netherlands. At that time, I would usually stream. Not right now, obviously. Okay, I see what's happening here. BK. Bible keycap.keycap.keycapdata.keycapletter equals a random key type. Oh, do I have to? I see. I have to guarantee that it's set to something. I mean, that makes sense. See ya, Slump. Bye-bye. Let's set it to, like... dot backspace. Because that should never happen, and if it does happen somehow, then this is where we'll come back to. Alright. I don't... what is this? Yeah, this doesn't even make sense. Why do we need to do this? We shouldn't need to do this. We've updated the type in the letter, that's all important. So then... where is get price defined? Is get price in the keycap script itself? I think it might be. Yes, it's here. Okay. God, this is so ugly and awful. This really needs to be rewritten too, but I just... like, I could try to make it better, but, like, I need to just make the game at the same time. I haven't, like, added anything to the game in a long time. So, you know, I don't know like where the point is where we accept that like the code is bad and just deal with it, or like I don't know. Be like, okay, we'll refactor it later. This is pretty simple changes. Okay. Oh, okay. I was about to say, somehow there's no more errors, but there are errors. These are really easy to fix, though. We just have to change run stats to run info. See, even AI is trying to do it for me. At least I write comments. I don't know if it makes up for the fact that my code is horrendous, but at least I do put some comments in some places. Let's do a little test run and see if what we have now. I hope it just works. That's what I'm hoping. I wouldn't say I have confidence, but okay. There's so much to unpack here, really. It's kind of amazing. We still... Okay. So I think the next thing to do is that the viable keycap prefab is cooked. So let's look at that. Where is that? Is that in here? No, it's gonna be in prefabs. And then either keycaps, no, or UI. Right? Viable keycap. So this prefab needs to be fixed because I changed the typing test and the name tag display prefabs. So this name tag display needs to be bye-bye. This one needs to be... This typing test needs to be at 0, 0, 0. Make sure these are at 0. Okay. So then this can go at like 1 or something, or like 0.5, and then scale to like that. Something like that. And let's look at... I don't know what else to look at. Maybe that's it. Keycap display is a pretty self-explanatory thing. Duck. You are such a programmer, Rami. You are such a programmer. Okay. A lot of questions. We have an error now. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. I think this means random keycap type. It's not an object. Can we use index like that for... Okay. Okay, well, let's start by doing some debug logs. And then what I also want to check is in run info, we have actually set all of the keycap types that are available, so they're there. So that's probably not the issue. Let's see. Colony. Green. Those ice. List. Ooh. Continue. Shoulder. Okay. It says 2. It says healing keycap. Everything's good. But suddenly line 55? Okay. Yeah, it's still the same line. So what must be the case is that viable keycap dot keycap is not real, I think. Because viable keycap is obviously real, we just made it. But its keycap property doesn't necessarily have to exist. And we can see we don't necessarily give it one. So I mean, really, I think all we need to do here is say keycap equals new keycap. But keycap is a... wait. Okay. I understand it now. We need to say where did the thing go? This. Okay. So we create this keycap. we do this. Oh. My brain is so fried right now. Okay. It all makes sense. So we do this. So we create the buyable keycap by instantiating one. And you know what I'm gonna do? In buyable keycap, I'm gonna add public void create keycap. And we're gonna say add in keycap prefab. We'll say keycap prefab dot instantiate and then keycap prefab, and then we'll say dot wait, why do I need to do this? That doesn't make sense. Qualify it with a type name instead. Oh, what am I doing? I'm actually sleepy. Let's go on the silly counter. I'm trying to do things that don't make sense. They just really don't make sense. Okay. So I've created a keycap method. To create keycap method, what it'll do is instantiate the keycap prefab for us, and then it will get the keycap component. And then so now in our buyable keycap prefab, we need the keycap prefab, which is just for some reason in scripts, but I'll change that another time. Can I just... Maybe this is a better idea. Build it into the keycap prefab. I can make a keycap here, and I can say, yeah, a keycap is just a thing. It doesn't have any visual representation on its own, so that's fine. I can just keep it here, and then I can reference it publicly here, and it should always be defined, then we won't run into the error we're having, and it actually doesn't require any extra code. So I can just delete this. I can delete this. Yeah. It's just instead of not giving it value, we give it a value. Wow. Every day you learn. And so now when we do .keycap here, it should always be defined. And let's see what error we get next, basically. Rain. Okay. Index was outside the bounds of the array. What do you mean? Ah. Okay, this is a special funny issue, I think. I think that unlocked characters has nothing in it. And the reason is because... Oh, give me a sec. Okay, just needed to stress, you know? We have something called an undiscovered keycap. The undiscovered keycap is a keycap representing a letter you've never typed before at the start of the game. So, when you go to the shop, you can only buy keycaps for letters that you have already typed before. If you never typed the letter Z, then you can't buy a keycap with the letter Z on it. And we track which characters have been unlocked through here. Now, in the old implementation of the undiscovered keycap, we had... There's a whole script for it here. We had this discover keycap function. It would check if the character is already unlocked. If it hasn't been unlocked, it would add it, and then it would change to a standard keycap, which just does 1 damage. But in the new implementation of the undiscovered keycap, I haven't gotten around to that yet. The only thing it does is 1 damage, and nothing else. And so we need to add functionality to this. So let's do that. Let's make a new script. Where did I do this? Keycap effects. Mono behavior script. Discover keycap. And I have a sinking feeling that this is going to be harder to implement in this new system, even though most things are easier to implement this way. So I'm just preparing myself for that, but we'll see. So I'm going to add it here, so then we can go in here, add it here, instead of add damage to key or whatever, we will drag in keycap events, no, keycap scripts, discover keycap, and then we will add a public method to it. So let's crack this open. Alright. Public void discover keycap. This So likely have to take in a, let's call it discover key, so it's not conflicting with the class name. And then before we actually write the code, I'm going to make sure it's assigned in the inspector, because that's a step that's easy to forget later. So we're going to say right here, discover keycap, discover key. And I think we're probably going to have to pass in something. So let's look at our old code, shall we? Did we have it? I have to reopen the script. Okay, so let's just copy these two things. Copy this body. And then, all right. First thing we're going to need here is a public game object standard keycap prefab. Now, the question kind of is, how can we pass the data that we need? Because we need information about this keycap. So I think if we keycap parent transform. I'm not sure exactly like what that variable does, to be honest. I assume it's just a public transform. No, it's a private transform. Oh, it's just the transform of the keycap, the keyboard weapon, which doesn't exist anymore, technically. Honestly, though, I don't know why I was instantiating it with a transform at all. That doesn't seem necessary, so don't worry about that. So basically, I'm just going to add a variable to this. So I really like have no idea if this will work. So we'll pass in a keycap, and then we can say keycap.keycapData, keycap.keycapData. Don't need this. And then keycap.keycapData. We'll also have to pass in the keycap here. Errors are gone, but there's a real question here. And actually, no, okay, so we don't want... Okay. Ah, okay. So I think we have to think about this differently than how it was before. So, in the past, every keycap was built on a prefab. And so if you wanted a standard keycap, you had to take your undiscovered keycap, spawn a standard keycap to replace it, set up that standard keycap with whatever variables it needs, and then you need to delete the undiscovered keycap. Now, the only thing we should need to do is get the keycap prefab and then access its type and then change it from undiscovered to standard. And that should literally be it. That should be the only thing we have to do. So, other than actually unlocking the character, we pretty much just need to say keycap.keycap type equals, instead of here, we need standard keycap type, and then this will be a keycap type, and we'll just define that in the inspector. So this could be way easier, but I'm still not sure about the passing the keycap through. So yeah, here we can just select standard keycap. All right. Okay. What's happening here? Why does it say missing? Okay. It's back. So keycap here is not something we can define here. So this is kind of an interesting situation. Let's see. Is there some way we can make something that does this? Can we get the thing that called the event? Because the keycap I believe is the thing that actually calls the event. So like, let's look at player attack. This calls keyboard weapon dot on attack, keyboard weapon dot on attack, goes through each keycap, and then it calls it. It makes that keycap invoke it. So is there a way we can get the keycap that called the event? This person seems... Hmm. Hmm. We could just... We don't need to know the exact keycap. What we could do instead is, if there's some kind of weird information we need that we aren't able to pass in, the main way I've done this so far is using the keyboard weapon. And so these things like number of enemies and current attack damage, current selections, which enemy is targeted, these things are helpful because this is a static class and I can access it from anywhere. So basically what we need to do is say, go through the selections for every we basically need to do this, like, for each selection, for each keycap, if that keycap contains a letter in our selection, then discover it. So we kind of need to like lift this code, which is awkward and not great because it's running this for every keycap, but we can change that, I think. Well, okay. We don't have to do it on letter typed, but we could do it on attack. And I think that might be better. Let's see, so on attack, so it's still going to run it for every keycap that we used in our attack, which is admittedly inefficient, but also not incredibly important. We could make a whole new method. Let's just do it. Okay. We need selection. I think I have a better idea. Let's just build this into the keyboard weapon. Let's just build it in. Right? Why not? So discover keycaps. So let's do this. String all select words equals empty string. All select words plus equals selection dot value. So that will give us a full string. And then we can say, we can copy this essentially. And we'll don't need this. So it's just for each keycap, for each letter, if cap.keycap type equals public static keycap type undiscovered keycap. Oh, I can't define this though in the inspector because the static class. Can I say like when you're having to think this hard, you know something's wrong in your overall design, but can I really just like undiscovered keycap? No, it's only a class because I made it a class before. I just don't know if I'm using this right. Hmm. Ah, that's so cringe. You don't want to do that. Alright, here's what we'll do. We'll just pass these in. Oh, I see what I was writing. I stopped writing like midline, and now I'm confused, but I get it now. If cap.keycap type equals undiscovered keycap, and we have the letter, then we can say cap.keycap type equals standard keycap. And now all we need to do is pass in these, which we can do easily from here. And now all we're going to do here is call the keyboard weapon function. Okay. So now we have here, undiscovered. And we'll know this is working if we start doing less damage than letters we type whenever we have repeat letters. So we'll see if that shows up. Collect. Okay, cut, so the C should do no damage, but it did, unfortunately. So I already know this hasn't worked. And it's probably because of this. Yeah, that needed to be updated. Pattern. Bat. Under. Bought. That didn't work. Because bought should have been only 5, but it was 6. And, okay, wait. clearly this is working now. We can see which things we typed. Oh, okay. Progress is progress. Is it the case? No. This is still in the same place. And I think that's because we haven't actually done that part. Yeah. Little cleanup here. I'm still unsure of why the keycaps seem to be doing damage even after they've changed. So we're gonna have to let's do some testing at runtime to see if we can kind of suss that out, because it doesn't seem like it's working. Force. From, boom, okay. F, R, O, and M. Whoops. Should all be standard keycaps now. Aha. Ah. Okay. So what happens is, at the start of the game, I believe, all of these events are assigned, and when simply changing the keycap type isn't enough to reset them. So we actually maybe should add to our keycap this thing. What am I doing here? Okay. So let's make a function that does that. Public void update events. Update keycap events. And let's copy all of this. And then in keyboard open, when we do that, we also say update keycap events. Now let's see what happens now. I feel like over time, I get a lot better at debugging, but I feel less confident about my ability to learn to write the code better the first time. Like, I don't know. Okay. I saw a new issue. The new issue is that we only did 1 damage. And I think That's quite fixable. So let's check that our keycaps have changed, though, correctly. Yes, okay, we changed the standard keycap. The events have been updated because there are now no events, which is exactly what we've set in the keycap event mappings here. So that's working. The problem is it's switching it to a standard keycap before the undiscovered keycap does damage. Which wouldn't be a big deal because the standard keycap ultimately should do the same thing. But just in case that causes some weird issue, we should also note, we should fix the order that things happen, just in case. And I think all we really need to do that is to change this from on letter typed here to on player attack end. And I think simply doing that will make sure that it works. How do I remove this? I want to remove this element. Usually it lets you right click or something. Okay. Well, I guess the minus works. I've had issues where using the plus and minus like removes things in the wrong order, and then I'm very sad. So that's why I didn't want to just do it that way. Let's see if everything works. Experience. Through. Okay, we do 7. Clear. We do 4. Expect, we only do 2. Hit, round, sun, war. So we're only doing damage for unique characters, and this guy should basically be impossible to kill now. So sad. New run. Okay. Perfect. Beautiful, even. So, next thing to do is just make standard keycaps actually do damage, right? That's what they were always meant to do. On letter typed. Add damage to keyboard weapon, 1. And now we should do 1 damage per letter, ideally. And hopefully we've also unbroken the shop just a little bit. Continue. Alright. Fear. Okay. So there's a lot to unpack right here. We're getting a lot of errors constantly, but the good thing is all of these options appear exactly as they used to before I refactored everything, so we're getting close. This button needs its text changed to say exit. That's a really quick fix. I'm not sure why it says object here. I don't know. I'm not sure what that is. Let's just look at that. Object. It's part of just a typing test that's here. And you know what? I don't know why it's here. Let's worry about that last. What's up with this error on line 119? Ah. Okay. So is keycap.nameTag. Keycap.nameTag is a real thing. Okay. Let's look at this. Okay, let's see if that's defined. Let's see if that's defined in our prefab. Viable keycap name tag. What do you know? It's not defined. Imagine that. Now, here's the thing. It shouldn't need to be defined. So, let's just get rid of this and then fix any errors. There aren't enough errors. Where are the errors? Okay. Let's see. Shop manager. So we're setting the name tag to active. So the equivalent of this is going to be keycap dot we actually want to get the keycaps typing test is what we want. So maybe we need that. I think we just might. Public typing test. Let's just get rid of these compile errors so I can actually edit the prefab. And throw this in here. Okay. Cool. So now let's look at this. Keycap. So if we're setting the name tag to be active, then we really want the test, we want to show and enable it. And to disable it, we want keycap.test.hide and disable. Oops, lowercase keycap. How did it still go uppercase? Oh, I see. We need to use selected keycap. It just didn't want me to do the thing that was impossible. That's all. That's all. Okay. So these can go bye-bye. And you know, who knows if all of this is gonna work still? I don't think I've technically changed anything that should make it not, but it's been a long time. Okay. Simply unpausing wasn't enough, but that's kind of to be expected. Let's just sink down in our chair a little bit and vibe. Deal them fire center, new moon, lore, locate. Okay. Chat, we have 0 errors right now. Shall we try to buy a keycap? Okay. You can't select a keycap anymore. You can type its thing, but it just changes the word. But it doesn't actually select it, which is so sad. And more annoyingly, most annoyingly of all, it doesn't give any errors. Something is just straight up not working. So I guess that's something to work on. But I think that that's got to be it for today, because I am exhausted. And I think we got a lot done, so I'm pretty happy. I wonder if we can exit the shop. No. Okay. Okay, and also, well, that's not really a problem, because we're going to change the text. I also need to figure out this extra thing as well. Anyway, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think what's happened is that when I rewrote the typing test prefab, it basically, whenever you basically in the typing test there's this onComplete action and you can set it to do whatever you want. So we probably need to go in here, viable keycap, and mark as selected. And I bet you that's the problem. And I bet you if we go into scenes and shop, and we go to not HUD, but where'd we go? What is this button? Typable button, imagine that. I just didn't rename it, so it's hard to find. Typing test, onComplete. Let's see, did I put it on here? Oh, look, there's a scene switcher on here. Imagine that. So, yeah, I think, that's gonna help. And I think this typing test is... To be honest, I have no idea why it's here. So I think it's garbage. It didn't do anything, so I can't be losing too much at this point. You know what? Okay, well this isn't gonna work. We have to start in the map scene. Peace. Serve. Company. Ocean. Continue. Fraction. Okay, we're here. Foot. Specified method is not supported. What a crazy error. What a special kind of error we just got there. Isn't that intriguing? Not supported exception? I mean, what does this mean? Ah, here we have a reference to the old keycap class. So something's clearly going wrong on this line. I'm not gonna fix it right now. It's sleepy time, but for next time. Alright. I'm gonna end it here, guys. Bye-bye. See ya. We did a lot of work. It was a good time. Thanks for watching and all that.